not for New York City, but I want to give some of the biggest temperature mess ups for Oyster Bay, New York. And I understand to some degree that some of these mess ups are going to be inevitable. You know, sometimes things get predicted and come somewhat true, but then the NWS data, which only has one station, I'm not even sure if it's NWS data, this might just be accurate data that it only collects from a certain point, because I see all these numbers as the same. It could just be that. And I didn't even check to see if that's accurate. I did a very small check. I'll do a bigger check when I feel like it. But I want to make a video of some of the biggest temperature mess ups. So, first of all, predictions evolve. The initial forecast for Friday, August 27th last year was 82 degrees. But as time moved on, the high temperature prediction pushed deeper into the 80s and into the 90s, and pushed somewhat deep in the 90s as well. The actual high temperature wound up being 93 degrees, making it the hottest day of the year, which honestly is not that often a prediction of 90 degrees that morning. Sometimes they can also be chronic. For example, when the temperature is messed up 5 out of 6 days in a row. Basically, after May 7th's rain event, the temperature was messed up for the next 6 days. Specifically, it got too warm on these 6 days. Sunday, which was supposed to have a high of 54, had a high of 58. Monday, which was supposed to have a high of 64, had a high of 69. And a low of 43 wound up becoming a low of 45, though local weather analysis does suggest that the low might have hit 43. Meanwhile, the next day was supposed to have a high of 68 and a low of 48, but what we actually got was a high of 72 and a low of 50. Though local evidence does suggest as normal that the actual high was 71 and the actual low was 49. Doesn't matter too much though, except that it does on terms of the low, because local evidence from Dark Sky would suggest that it did make it down to the 40s, while accurate data would suggest that it did not do such a thing. This also allowed the final wind chill. So after Monday, the final wind chill in the 30s, our final wind chill period occurred, and it was a wind chill that went a lot shallower and only into the 40s. May 11th was supposed to have a low of 48 and a high of 72, I believe, or 71. Wound up having a low of 53 and a high of 76. As much as local data does suggest that the high was only 74. This would be the case on Friday too, which was supposed to have a high of 72 as well, but the high was actually 76, though that Thursday the temperature predictions were relatively accurate. It wasn't just that. May 15th was initially expected to have a high of 68, that became 71. May 18th was too cold. The high prediction was 74, 75, wound up becoming 71. Although local evidence does, as always, suggest that it might have gone to 72. The point of all this, May 2021 was notoriously bad at predicting the weather.